Here we go. Y'all better get in here and fill it up. We ain't playing tonight. We're going to expose some things. Yeah. It's crazy in America and crazy in the world. Get ready, because it's about to get crazier, y'all. There ain't no doubt about it. Let's go. Big Picture Live. Come on. Come on. All right. Welcome into the Big Picture. And the Queen will be coming in just a moment. But I tell you, we got breaking news tonight. As we speak, the hurricane has already created huge damage on the state of Texas, as well as many of the islands that they pass through the Gulf. And tremendous flooding, tremendous power outages. We will get to that in just a moment. If you have not already smashed that like button, go ahead and smash that like button right now. Smash it, y'all. That's how you do it. Right off the bat, I think it's probably an accident. We got a thumbs down. There they go. They corrected it. I knew that wasn't a real thumbs down. It's okay. Sometimes it happens. Smash it. If you watch it on Rumble, show us some love. Watch it on X, show us some love, because it's the only place that we are here tonight, YouTube, Rumble, and X. So, yeah, thank you for giving us some love and subscribing to our channel, helping us build it as we go forward. And, of course, I always want to remind you that you can go to our website and you can connect with Faith TV. Faith TV is where our television program is, and you have helped make that possible. It's been a blessing to have, being able to go to all over the world right now with our television program. You can always go to our website. So we're going to get ready to bring in the Queen right now. She's coming in right now. So, Sandy, welcome to the program. And she is here, y'all.
No parade?
There it is. There's the parade. That's all you get.
Thought you said there was a queen coming. I was waiting for the parade.
Yeah. There's your parade. That's
JK, I'm glad to be here on this breaking news day.
Yeah, you picked me up from the airport this morning.
I did.
I mean, I am operating on pure caffeine right now and the Holy Ghost.
It's all Holy Ghost and caffeine.
It is.
All the time.
We have, I've had a whirlwind week. It's been a blessing.
Yes,
I was up in Columbus, Ohio for a conference up there.
Yes.
Then I flew straight from Columbus to Orlando and was able to preach the gospel down there at Judah Church, which is one of the greatest churches in America.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, we're just excited to be back in Birmingham and back with our Big Picture family.
Into that.
All right, Sandy. So let's get into it tonight. But wait a minute. Maybe we shouldn't get into it. Maybe we have a special guest to intro tonight.
I would love that. I think everybody else would too.
So I think we have a short little special guest.
Treat.
Let's see what it's all about.
Get ready for my Papa and on the Big Picture.
Oh, did y'all love that or what?
We're starting them young over here.
A star is born.
Ha, ha, ha.
I think
Nice.
I think we need to say that again.
Let's do it.
Let's do it one more time.
Get ready for my Papa and on the Big Picture.
Oh, yes. Yay, Harper.
Yay, Harper.
That's our grandbaby. That's my bunny rabbit. That's our first grandbaby. We got two grandbabies.
It's my number one.
And we'll get her one day.
Hey, Billy, missed you, buddy, and your sweet, sweetheart.
She is a cutie pie, and she is cuteness overload. They're loving Harper.
Awesome.
A star is born.
Awesome.
So maybe if you stick around to the end, we may have another little clip from Harper. That's all I'm saying. But let's get into some. That was happy news. This
Beryl.
is tragic news.
Yeah, it is.
Beryl is. What kind of name is Beryl? Is that a non-binary name? We have non-binary hurricanes now.
I don't know.
I think that's what that is. I think it's a non-binary.
I've heard
Does
some
anybody?
people.
Well, I don't want to offend. If there's any Beryls in your family? I'm not trying to be offensive. I've just never heard Beryl.
I have heard it as a female name, but
Really?
the reason I'm laughing is I've heard people inject their southern inflection, Beryl.
Oh, that's just old brother Earl.
That's
old Beryl.
Beryl, whatever. That's the funny part. The sad part is the seriousness
Yeah, let's be serious.
of this actual weather event. And hey, I think we talked about a couple of weeks ago about seeing where those hurricanes continue to track. This one came right back into the Gulf.
Yep.
What was it? Early June we had. Did Alberto even make it to hurricane status?
I don't think so. No.
But it beelined it into the Gulf, correct?
Yes. I'm
And
saying yes, but I'm
this
not
one, I
100%.
don't know. I meant to look up if it hit the same exact place, but it came into the Gulf and it hit the Texas coast. We're talking about Galveston, Corpus Christi. What is that other area? And of course, this came inland towards Houston, and we're dealing with a lot of flooding right now. So we're early into hurricane season. This is the most powerful.
The most powerful and the earliest category
Right.
of anything that is
The most powerful to be this early.
and the earliest, I believe,
So-
altogether.
What are we?
Well, all you
what's
gotta
on
do-
par? What's
well-
about to happen here?
Well, Sandy, all you got to do is go back and watch my show with Pastor Paul Begley that was on just last week called Weather Manipulation. And we talked about this hurricane, and he talked
Can we
about.
just stop for a minute? I'm proud. I'm proud of myself. You have come so far.
Why you keep trying to act like I wasn't awake at all? I was awake some.
You are resistant.
All right, let's get it.
Straight up resistant.
I don't even know what
to
you're talking
hear the words weather manipulation come out of your mouth. I feel I wear that as a badge of honor.
Moving
I'm
on.
proud of myself.
Moving on. Now, this is sad.
It is sad.
3 people have actually lost their life at the Beryl landfall. Millions are without power.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, 3 are dead, and 2.7 million Texas customers are without power. It's actually closer to 3 million now is what I heard. And are bracing for dangerous heat after Hurricane Beryl made first U.S. landfall of the 2024 hurricane season. This is just breaking news of covering this live updates. They're saying that another article says laser focus on the important and time-sensitive work. Crews work to assess damage. Let's watch a little bit of this live here from Texas.
Seeing there. Now, we checked in with you earlier, Aaron, and now you're back in Sargent. What's the situation there now?
Yeah, so things here in Sargent, specifically south of Sargent, on the Sargent Beach, have changed considerably since I was here a few hours ago. When I was last here a few hours ago, water was still over the road. The winds were still strong. People that are on the beach or wanted to get onto the beach couldn't get on the beach or off the beach due to that flooding over the roads. And now, this afternoon, all that water has moved off. It's moved off the road. Traffic is flowing onto the beach, and residents are starting to clean up.
Wow.
I've spoke to a few residents down on the beach there who rode the storm out. Some of them even have been here for quite a long time. This was a Category 1 storm, but it was a strengthening Category 1 storm. So it packed a significant punch for just a Category 1 storm. And some of those residents have rode out other tropical storms or weak Category 1 hurricanes. And they were saying that this is the strongest one they've experienced here. They've been here for a long time. Obviously, there's been stronger hurricanes that made landfall in here. And thankfully, they've heeded caution for those and evacuated for those storms. But for the weaker ones, I think it caught some of the residents here by surprise just how strong those winds are. And I've been in a lot of hurricanes, and I will say that a strengthening Category 1 storm is going to be a much stronger, seemingly stronger storm than, let's say, a weakening Category 2 storm.
So we see that, there's just multiple
Yes.
talks about all the things that are happening. But, not only do you have the 1-2 punch, you have the storm that comes in with the wind and the rain and then the storm surge and then the flooding. And now you have record heat.
Yes.
That you're dealing with, and you don't have any power.
Yeah, it's
So
not
we really need to be
Katrina,
praying
but
for
you don't want to be
Texas.
sitting there with your family, maybe your elderly parents or your little grandchildren, and you don't have electricity in this kind of heat and humidity. And okay,
Exactly.
maybe it didn't destroy everything, but if you're a business or a homeowner and now you're looking at doing repairs to your home or business and you don't have electricity, and hey, the store might not be open for 3 days or a week, this is a problem.
Yeah.
So we definitely need to pray for all of these people.
Yeah, and if you are watching in the path of the hurricane, live or on the replay, let us know so we can pray for you.
Yes.
And, let us know what your needs that you have there are. Maybe there'll be some people that can connect you with
We
who
have
you
people
need.
reporting right now in chat that they've checked with family, some saying they're okay. Alicia says no power and trees down for some of her family. So, prayers up for all these
So
folks.
that's what the Big Picture family is here for.
Absolutely.
So if you're watching live or in the comment section, let us know what we can do, what we can pray for, and maybe we can even have connections that can help get support there to the people that are hurting. So that's the prominent news that's would be everything that everybody's talking about when you have a hurricane make landfall in America. That's usually the news that's constantly running, but it's being overshadowed by something else big.
We're wall-to-wall coverage on something else.
So if you saw the thumbnail for the show tonight, it's called 120 Days Away. Exactly today, if you're watching this live, July the 8th is exactly 120 days to the November election for the President of the United States. And I'm going to tell you right now, we started saying a year ago, get ready for the summer of 2024. Have we not been saying that?
Yes.
I'm telling you, we didn't see this exact thing coming.
We did not see this coming, but yes.
Yeah.
Those words went out on this show.
But we knew that it was going to be chaos. And I do believe we're going to cover extensively the current President Biden and the things that he is facing.
Yes.
And let me just say this. It's not to beat him down and to take advantage of someone who is very obviously dealing with cognitive situations. We have spoken very clearly. Both of us have experienced that in our families of loved ones. We understand that. But it's in the news everywhere. So we need to cover it from a truthful stance here so you can see what is actually lies and what is actually being told to you is the truth and what we think is going to happen as we go forward. So,
I think we can say this, and I'm sure we're going to get into this at length multiple times on this show tonight. It is a coordinated effort.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Couldn't we not all agree in the live chat in the comments below that there is zero, I mean, not even a 0.1, zero chance that the media all of a sudden realized that this was going on. They are. It's all for ratings.
Would
and
you
they're
say
all trying
they're
to save
in
face.
lockstep right now?
Oh Lord, they got the memo all on the same.
The memo came down. We need Rush Limbaugh to do another one of those famous montages he used to do.
Yeah, if we could. I mean,
I'd give anything. But
we miss him.
It's ridiculous. I almost want to get the popcorn. But I've said before that, look, I'm not inclined to sit here and crack up and make jokes and just kneecap the president. It is what it is. You don't need me being mean and making jokes. We all know what it is.
We know what it is.
It's sad. It needs to stop. This is, in my opinion, as I'm sure many of you feel the same way, elder abuse.
Yep.
I'm sorry, but I'm watching news clip after news clip and little reels and shorts on YouTube and all media sources, and I'm thinking, okay, is this version 1, 2, or 3?
Yeah.
Because to me, there is a difference in the cadence of speech.
You're talking about Biden. You're talking about
talking about Biden.
Imposters.
Talking about the doppelgangers. I mean, it's like you don't know what you're going to get from day to day. Really, a spray tan? Spray tan.
What happened to making fun of Orange Man? Now we got Bronze Biden.
So
all right,
I'm sorry to get cranked up, but just had to get a little feelings out there.
Did you drink a cup of coffee before you came in here?
No, and I need some. I'm looking for a beverage cart any second now.
Okay.
No parade, no beverage cart. What next?
Prominent House Democrats are wanting Biden to exit the 2024 race. This is why the main reason why we're talking about this and why we believe a false flag is coming. And that's we're going to get into that tonight as well. President travels to Pennsylvania to try to shore up support after the disastrous debate, and it was disastrous. And as we've said on this program, they knew it was coming. It was a setup.
And that's another thing.
I told you that. I told you it was a setup.
To watch the news and hear one after another say what a disastrous mess, debacle.
He just had a bad night.
No. They are in lockstep saying it was a disaster.
Yeah.
It was an unmitigated disaster. I mean, I just, knowing what we've seen all the way up until 2 weeks ago, and now it's an unmitigated disaster across the board. I mean, wow. Okay.
Come on. They forget that we have the receipts, that we have the videos of all of them covering for him, saying that it was cheap fakes and that this was not real, that this was the right wing.
The montage.
We got the receipts.
This is the montage I want to see. Mika and Joe and all of these on their shows, reminding us, pounding us how capable the president is,
Sharp
and
as a
strong,
tack.
sharp as a
Behind
tack.
closed doors.
Oh yeah. So
Behind
anyway,
closed- but here's the reality. The only reason we're having this discussion is because their plan A to get rid of Trump by lawfare and all the things they're doing didn't work. So they're like, okay, so now we gotta set him up. And I'm telling you, I said it here and I'll say it again. The whole debate, the earliest in the history of president, was all a setup.
speaking of Trump, he's been strangely
Very quiet.
Do you think
Yeah.
he's operating on the give him some rope theory? Let's just give him a little more rope. Just give him a little more rope, because he is strangely quiet.
You said it. I didn't say it, but you said it.
Yeah.
President Biden faced new calls from prominent Democrats to exit from the race as he hit the campaign trail Sunday to try to dispel mounting concerns over his fitness for office and chances of defeating Republican Donald Trump. In a private meeting of senior House Democrats, several attendees said Sunday that they believe Biden should step aside, according to people who are familiar with the matter. The members who said this believe that he should exit from the race, including Representatives Jerry Nadler and Joe Morell of New York, Adam Smith of Washington, Jim Hines of Connecticut, and Mark Takano from California. Developments opened a wide crack in Biden's wall of support, bringing the number of House Democrats publicly or privately saying that he should step aside to about 10. I've heard today it was getting closer to even 25 that are willing to say it. So the bottom line is this. I think they really legitimately thought, okay, we're going to ride this thing out till we can't ride it anymore, and then we're going to look at the polls.
Yeah.
And if we need to get rid of him, we're just going to get rid of him. But what they didn't account for, and I really believe this is legitimate,
Okay.
they did not account for the amount of pride that is in mainly Jill Biden, Dr. Jill Biden, excuse me, and the current president, because they've waited and waited and waited for so long to get this power, and they did not really fully account for the people that's behind the scenes that's really running the presidency right now. They do not want to give up that power as easy as they thought they would just go away. And I'm telling you, it is, and we don't know what to believe, but that's why I'm talking about, I believe, a false flag type event is getting ready to come.
Listen to my baby talking about false flags.
And the reason I believe it's coming is because y'all, the reason she's doing this is I didn't used to be this guy. Okay. I was not this guy. Okay.
So not this guy.
All right. But wait a minute. Listen, hear me out. Okay. So I believe that it's beginning to register. Wait a minute. He's not going to go away. And by the rules, he has to voluntarily step aside and turn it over. And today, when he did the call-in interview with Joe Scarborough, and I think it's very strategic that it was a call-in and not a video. And many people have said they heard papers in the background, him shuffling papers, that he was reading his answers because he sounded really good on this. And honestly, it sounded so good. Like you just going back to what you were saying. It didn't
Every
even
time
sound like
when
him.
I hear him sounding so good,
It
my
did not
mind
sound-
immediately goes to, is this number 2 or number 3?
Right. But he literally said, challenge me at the convention. Come after me. He literally said, hey, all you elites that telling me to go, challenge me at the convention.
Yeah.
So it's getting crazy.
So let me add to your argument. Obviously, I'm sure Jill loves power. I'm sure
She's running the show.
Hunter loves power, and I'm curious to know, quite frankly, if he's still showing up to the morning meetings for his father.
Yes.
But it is in Jill and Hunter's best interest that they do stay firmly planted, because if terra firma washes out from under their feet and they're not firmly planted where they are, then they may have to contend with a lot of issues, a lot of problems. They have the protections of the presidency right now. I mean, look at what we've been through the entire time before he went into office for this term.
Exactly.
One scandal after another, just of his son. How many of those were linked directly to him or questioningly to him?
Yep.
It's
It's the show me the money thing. Show me the money.
Show me the money and show me the protection.
Yeah, exactly.
But I haven't even seen or heard what you're talking about, this telephone
Well, here it is.
interview. So.
Defiant Joe Biden dares elites to challenge him at the Democratic National Convention. He said that Biden called into MSNBC's Morning Joe talk show on Monday in a bid to squell concerns over his continued presidential bid and air his frustrations with the Democratic Party elites questioning his ability to win in November following his poor debate performance against Donald Trump. Quote, if any of these guys don't think I should run against me. Go ahead, announce for president and challenge me at the convention.
Wow.
All right, so here's a little bit of clip of it.
We noted yesterday that it was quite a contrast, the people that were supporting you yesterday compared to, say, a lot of the Washington insiders and Hollywood moguls, and go down the list of very powerful people that want you out compared to the support that you had in Pennsylvania yesterday. That said, there are a lot of people of goodwill who love you, who believe you did a great job in your first term, who are still concerned. Yesterday, the topic came up of the Stephanopoulos interview, where you were asked the question, how would you feel if Donald Trump beat you? How would you feel after you lost? And you said, well, as long as I did the best I could do, that's the most important thing. That's caused Democrats concern, who believe that losing is not an option. What would you say to those who are concerned by that answer?
It's not an option, and I've not lost. I haven't lost. I beat him last time. I'll beat him this time. And this is a guy who, look, we talk about debates. Look at his performance at debates. He lied over, Trump has 50 lies. Look, this is a guy who says 10% of you. I don't want to get into it. He's just a liar. And he hasn't done a damn thing since the debate. He's been riding around in a golf cart for 10 days, was down in Mar-a-Lago talking with his wealthy friend. I'm not running because of these guys, Joe. I'm running because, and you know me well enough to know this from the very beginning, I ran because I never bought on in the trickle-down economic theory. I never bought into the notion that we have to walk away.
Listen how good he sounds. It doesn't even sound like when he's trying to read a teleprompter.
And how clear he sounds.
When he's reading from a teleprompter, he doesn't sound that good.
From the rest of the world in the cave to Putin or anybody else, I've never believed any of that. And I'm confident that's what the American people are. So what I did was I went out and I wanted to make sure that there wasn't any slippage at all. And with the average voter, I don't care what the millionaires think.
So I'm just telling you, who knows what kind of cocktail that was going on there, whatever. But I'm telling you, that does not sound like the guy that we've been seeing in any way, shape, or form. No. So you can just go with wherever you want to go with that.
And while you're talking about that stellar performance, don't you just love the chemistry with Mika and Joe? They're so awesome.
Oh,
right?
they're married, and she doesn't want him to drop out, and he's called for them to drop out. Mm-hmm. So they're like, that conversation over the breakfast table.
And what is this set that they have for their morning show?
I don't know.
It's weird.
I don't know. All right, let's continue.
I'm calling for us to replace them, Mika and Joe. Out.
Well, I ain't going on that channel.
We might maybe turn things around over there.
Can we make MSNBC great again?
Why not?
Blitz primary is what they're calling it. Could open up Democratic race if Biden drops out. It goes on to say the Democratic Party, as they convulse over questions about Biden's mental fitness, a pair of well-connected Democrats is offering an optimistic plan that would involve the president stepping down as the nominee and the party announcing a blitz primary process ahead of the August convention. The proposal is a work of Rosa Brooks, a Georgetown University law professor who served in the Obama and Clinton administration and as a volunteer policy advisor to the Biden campaign in 2020. It goes on to say that they want Biden to flip the script on the current Washington narrative of the Democratic Party in chaos and for the party to see the current period as an opportunity for a reset. In the midst of malaise and crisis, we can forge an uplifting path. Their idea goes something like this, according to a memo shared and circulated. Biden would step down as the Democratic nominee in mid-July, announce the new system with the backing of Vice President Kamala Harris, potential candidates would have a few days to throw their representative hats in the ring. The Democratic Party would then begin a primary sprint in which the 6 candidates who received the most votes from delegates pledged to run positive-only campaigns in the month leading up to the convention. The Blitz primary would involve weekly forums with each candidate moderated by cultural icons such as Michelle Obama, Oprah, and Taylor Swift,
Of course.
as among the names floated in the memo, in order to engage voters. The nominees would ultimately be chosen by the delegates using ranked choice voting before the start of the Chicago Convention on August 19th. It will be announced with plenty of fanfare on the third day of the gathering. The memo imagines the nominee unveiled on stage with Biden, Barack Obama, and Bill Clinton. Okay, that just, to me, that's just more distraction. I do not see that happening. I mean, if that happens, if our country gets to the place that Taylor Swift is moderating a debate.
Let's turn the campaign election process cycle into a variety show, right?
That's what it sounded like.
It sounds like a variety show.
Taylor Swift going to moderate but look, this is what we've come to.
I want to get that Riverdance guy, Michael Blakely, whoever that is. We got to have some other entertainment sprinkled in, right?
Oh, you're going to do Riverdance? You have them doing it.
Exactly. We're going to need a break from all this.
We nominate.
The dude's impressive. He's got a nice dance troupe.
It's pretty impressive.
Anyway.
But that's just crazy. I mean, but let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
All we keep hearing is we got to win this election to save democracy.
Mm-hmm.
What did I just read? That the people of the Democratic Party democratically voted in primaries, overwhelmingly pulled the lever, filled in the circle, pushed the button for Joe Biden. And now they're just going to just say, you know what?
Yeah.
That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We can do whatever we want to do so that we can save democracy.
And while we're out here creating a variety show, has anyone done the work on the logistics of all the electoral votes and the different laws and regulations for different states and the money and all of this? I mean, we can't just sit here and make decisions. They have to be legally viable, right?
Exactly. Now let's don't go anywhere, because we're about to show you why we believe that a false flag event may be possibly coming. But now, real quick, I'm gonna hit this article. It's a very good article by Axios. Biden's team faces a tough pivotal week in D.C. Now, Axios is the news organization. It's a liberal news organization, but they were the ones that supposedly, inside the White House staff, leaked to them. I don't know if you saw it today, the photos where they had photos saying, go down this hallway, stand at this podium, go through this door, and they leaked it to Axios. Well, the rumor is, and a lot of people are reporting, that this week Axios is going to release an article that's going to change everything, that it is going to be multiple insiders in the Biden White House that are going to admit on the record that they have been covering this up for over 2 years.
My goodness.
That's why this article says Biden's team faces a tough pivotal week. It says why it matters. For Biden, it is likely to get worse before it gets better. And that's an optimistic view, according to some aides and advisors. Biden's best opportunity to prove his Democratic doubters wrong probably won't come until, and we're going to get into this in just a moment, his NATO press conference Thursday. Did you know he's having a press conference Thursday?
I heard that.
An actual press conference.
I was thinking, what?
Yeah, so this is gonna come down to Thursday. That's when Biden will face a press corps that is questioning how the president's team shielded some of the health and age issues that became apparent on the June 27th debate against Donald Trump. Until then, Biden can expect more, quote, do the right thing type advice in public, withering criticism in private from Democrats in Congress. So today, I don't know if you saw any of the White House press conference today.
A little bit. Boy, they're putting it to old Jean-Pierre.
Man, you ain't never seen the press treat a Democrat like that. I mean, I'm talking about, it was insane, y'all.
They enjoyed their barbecue and fireworks, and they have been waiting for Monday. I think we all know that. We've heard hints of it through the week, but they came out with both barrels blazing.
They did
today.
And I'm telling you,
Blood in the water, right?
but it's sickening because you sit there and you watch that and you want to say, come on, finally the press is waking up. But you're like, you all knew this.
Right.
Every one of you that are acting so offended and so hurt.
No, what's
and
happened here is they got the green light.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody's got the green
Well,
light.
look, the Biden campaign has an answer for this, and this is legitimately, I predicted this on this program. I literally predicted that this is the world we're going to live in, probably in this election, and here we are. Biden campaign is urging the use of AI to make senile president appear more competent while labeling real videos showing his cognitive decline as deep fakes.
If that works for him, I want to use it here on myself, okay? I want to hide those.
No, baby, the world wants the real Sandy.
No, we want to.
The world wants the real Sandy.
Seriously, though.
Listen, we are living in an upside-down world where artifice is presented as reality and truths are dismissed as frauds. Nowhere is it more evident right now than the way the Biden supporters are trying to trick Americans into thinking that our geriatric president, this is the words of the author, not mine, actually belongs in the White House rather than a memory care facility. So it wasn't that long ago that the Biden campaign started pushing social media platforms to suppress videos showcasing his very real cognitive decline. They're apparently hoping that this would keep the videos from surfacing in people's feeds. Well, now, as the pressure piles in the wake of his deeply unsettling debate performance, the Biden supporters now appear to be shifting from calling real videos fake ones to creating fake videos out of real coverage to make him seem a lot sharper than he is.
What can we call these? Because we've had deep fakes and cheap fakes.
fakes.
So,
Well, these are going to be called. I mean, they're cheap. They're deep fakes, is what they're going to be. But listen. This was in the Huffington Post. Pro-Biden supporters in the Huffington Post wrote an article calling on the Biden campaign to take advantage of AI technology to create fake videos in which he looks and sounds good and sounds like a healthy human being whose brain is functioning in a perfectly normal way.
can you believe we're having this
predicted
conversation?
No,
can
I
you
can't.
believe that we're really talking about this?
This is not us predicting something that could possibly. This is really happening.
Ooh,
This is insane, y'all. Did we not say multiple times here? I have said to you that AI is going. That
Right.
people are going to use it in politics, and they're going to use it in crimes.
Sure.
They're going to use it in everything, and it's going to be like it's not that far away, y'all. Listen to me, Mark Larry Ragland's words on the big picture tonight.
Mark him.
Mark
Mark him.
it, because I'm telling you, I'm not talking about years from now. I'm
No.
talking about months from now. Within a year,
As fast as we're moving, it'll be next week.
could be that it will be such an accepted part of our life that the crime dramas and all of this that some of you like to watch is going to be now the whole narrative of the programs are going to be, was this AI or was this really him? And I'm telling you, that's where we're going, where people are going to just literally, you're going to start seeing it on the news. Remember my words. You're going to see on the news where people are arrested on video. They're going to stand and try, and they're going to say, listen, Your Honor, that was not me. That was not me. Well, we got you on video. High definition right here. I'm telling you, that was AI. That was not me. And with people with enough money, listen to this, they're going to be able to hire tech guys to use AI to create an alibi. And it's going to be an undeniable, you will not be able to tell it's not real. It's going to show you in another place with a group of people. You were not able to do the crime. And it's going to be, how do we figure out what's real and what's AI?
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, the first introduction that the world is getting right now is, I believe we've already seen AI in this election cycle.
Uh-oh. Can you please elaborate?
I believe what you're talking about which Biden, 1, 2, or 3. I believe there was a clip. I wish I could find it. Where just one random day, Biden makes a statement to the military. It was a horrible imitation. It did not look anything like him, did not sound like he was monitored. It was not even his voice. And he came on and he made a video honoring the military. and I've only seen it one time, and it's gone. You can't find it anymore. But I'm telling you right now, if I could find that video, I'd do a video about it because it was not him. It was not him. And I'm telling you, that's the world we live in.
Certainly, I think that AI could be used, but I'm leaning towards actual humans.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, plastic surgery can do wonders, but also you played the video of the CIA and their mask technology.
It's insane.
So that's where I'm coming from.
And you zoom in on some of them pictures, not just him, but other people too, Republicans and Democrats, and you can almost see the crevices around the eyes. Like, it just doesn't look like real skin.
I don't know. It's just...
But, how are they going to distract, okay? How are they going to distract? There's going to be some false flag events that are coming. Yeah. But here's how have you heard this narrative too? Well, I hope that you're asking the other guy too about to take a cognitive test because he's just as bad.
Of course.
He's got dementia.
He's crazy. He can't talk.
Yeah, I mean, my God, he's going on more rants than Biden.
He doesn't have a coherent thing to say. He's ran a multi-billion-dollar business for decades, but he's a total loon. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So look here. This is the thing. I don't know if you or the audience are familiar with this. There's something called Project 2025 that they're trying to tie Trump to. Project 2025 is a wish list from the Heritage Foundation, a very conservative foundation that made saying if Trump is president, we would love to see him do these things. We're going to support him to do these things. Now, Trump has come out and he has said, I don't know what Project 25 is, 2025. I don't know who made it. I'm not a part of it and all this, but it doesn't matter. If you watch MSNBC, and I've been going back and forth just to see what all of them are saying, there are news after they'll cover Biden, and then the whole next thing is Trump and his agenda 2025. So this is what it is, and I want to tell you what it is, and then you decide whether this is a bad thing or not. Democrats began focusing attacks on right-wing Project 2025 pushed by Trump allies. Now, I actually saw this guy here. This is, I can't think of his name right now, but I'll show his name in just a minute. But he is one of the directors of the Heritage Foundation. He spoke at the NRB the night that Trump was there. Well, you saw him. You was there. He was the guy that spoke.
I was about to say, he looks very familiar.
Yeah, you were there. So he was the guy that spoke. He was really, really well received in things he said. All right, so President Biden and other Democrats are increasingly focusing their attacks on an aggressive right-wing agenda called Project 2025 that is being published by allies of presumptive GOP nominee Donald Trump, prompting Trump and his team to lash out in recent days of support of the effort, and basically saying we're not supporting this, this is not a part of us. Many Democrats have assessed that the best message for their candidate, whether it's Biden, who is trailing in polls and facing calls to drop out after a damaging debate performance, is to focus on what Trump might do in a second term, particularly as it relates to abortion rights, retribution against his enemies, mass deportations, and the environment. They hope to make a household phrase of Project 2025, which is designed as a policy and personal platform for a Republican administration. Democrats close to Biden say the group's website, anchored by the Heritage Foundation, includes 30 chapters written by more than a dozen former Trump appointees and others from different places. Now, the plan calls for, among things, listen to these are some of the main things that are in there: dismantling the education department, passing sweeping tax cuts, imposing sharp limitations on abortion, giving the White House greater influence over the Justice Department, reducing efforts to limit climate change, and increasing efforts to promote fossil fuels, drastically cutting and changing the federal workforce, and giving the president more power over the civil service. Now, when you read that, and I've read the whole Project 2025 bullet list, I mean, it's like, other than the abortion thing, it's basically believing that they would take away all abortions. That doesn't make room for, life of the mother, rape or incest, and these kind of things, which I'm not supposed to say those words. I just remember that. So forgive me, YouTube algorithm. But the bottom line is this. Trump came out and said, I'm not a part of Project 2025. He has his own thing called Trump 47. And he put his forward, he put it on his website, And I believe even today, the Republican committee adopted his platform as their platform. Now, I will say this. There's a lot of pushback on Trump right now from the Republicans and the conservatives and the Christians because he has made some controversial statements on abortion. He has made it very clear in the debate that he does support no abortion except for the case of those 3 scenarios that I just told you. That's very common to be said. Right. And even said that he would not oppose the pill that is now going over the counter. So a lot of people are pushing back on him on that. And another thing that's really, I think, extremely disappointing in the Republican Party is when they adopted the platform today of Trump's platform, they removed the pro-life language that's been in there for many, many years. So I think it's going to really affect a lot of pro-life voters. It's very disappointing. All that being said, this Project 2025 is, you've heard terms like Christian nationalist, right wing, ultra right wing, the Proud Boys and all. They try to lump all these people in it. Well, they're trying to put this Project 2025 because of abortion that's in it. That's like their favorite thing in the world. If you don't, that's what they're trying to run on. And because of that, they are saying this is so radical. We cannot let this kind of agenda come in, and Trump's going to bring this agenda. So I don't know if you've heard of the Project 2025, but it is really being pushed big time. It's like they've run some kind of polling and they realized this is working for us. We don't want a president that believes in these conservative principles.
Well, I guess we'll see what happens with that.
So you hadn't heard about it?
No, I have not. And I don't know. We'll see.
What's your opinion of what I just read that's in it, and and if you don't want to answer, you don't have to answer, but what is your opinion on what the Republican Party did today? How do you think that's going to affect Christian voters, pro-life voters, that they removed the pro-life platform that's been in there since Reagan?
Right. It's disturbing, right? I mean,
very.
We should have seen this coming because to me, it seems like, same team, different, because there's so many, what do you say, rhinos?
Yeah. That's
Republican name only.
Right.
And we've been heading in that direction for a while. But just, to see a group come out and make these kind of statements, it's disheartening. And they do it because, they want to grow this platform and they feel like they have to, right?
Yeah, but it's sickening that the compromise to grow your tent is babies.
There you go.
That's what's sickening to me.
There it is.
All right, so now as we move towards showing you what we believe is about to happen, and you know what? I say this all the time. I hope I'm wrong. I absolutely hope I'm wrong. Yes. But I believe that we're seeing some stuff coming. NATO is meeting this week, and it's at a peak of uncertainty in the West. A lot of people are not even aware of the fact that NATO this is their 75th anniversary, and leaders of the West's preeminent military alliance convened this week in all places, Washington, D.C. The annual NATO summit marks the bloc's 75th anniversary, and the heads of its member states will be in attendance, will seek to showcase their collective resolve and strength. But looming above the deliberations is a pronounced sense of vulnerability and anxiety, the specter of a potential return. I mean, the whole world's scared to death of this. We talk about this every week. The specter of a potential return of former President Donald Trump haunts many of the United States' European allies and looms closer amid the growing clamor over President Biden's capacity to win re-election. Trump repeatedly voiced his antipathy to NATO in his first term, and in the most recent debate declined to say whether he would pull the United States out of the alliance. European diplomats are already preparing contingency plans for a future Trump administration. Many doubt he would actually withdraw from NATO, but are concerned about Trump weakening U.S. commitments to the alliance and undermining transatlantic unity. In other words, messing up Ukraine's money laundering.
God, that's exactly what I was about to say. That is exactly what I was about to say. Yeah. I'd be,
And that's happening this
I'd be a
week.
little scared too if I was in.
Well, that's when he's having the press conference. So I'm not sure yet, but I think he's going to be, maybe he's going to be with some other leaders. But I heard today, before I realized it was when NATO's here, that he was going to be doing a standalone. I have a hard time believing that they're going to put Biden just himself in front of the press corps when they're smelling blood and all this kind of things, and they've got the go ahead.
Hard to
So
believe.
it just sort of,
I mean, come on.
It makes me think that there's going to be him and some of the other leaders of other countries taking questions about NATO, but they're still going to come after him because, as you said earlier, they got the memo, they got the go. And
how about this? We've talked about all this. I mean, there's so many facets and aspects to this. It's not one or two things. You're talking about big donors like Disney,
right,
and other corporations and whatever, saying they're pulling the money. We're not going to fund this. What are you going to do with that?
Exactly. Yeah. You got Hollywood producers, people that, they always preface it by saying, oh, you've been a tremendous president. We love you, but we need you to love the country enough to step aside. They're turning it up. And you see on the screen there, if you hadn't smashed the like button, smash it now. Smash it now. Come on.
Did you see the clip of Jill today? I told you should probably play it. Don't scream at me.
Yeah.
Why are you screaming at me?
Yeah, she had this look on her face. I'm not used to being treated this way.
Exactly. And the truth is, people within the close Biden camp are turning on each other.
They really are.
I mean, it's just nasty.
And that's why that's why Trump is being quiet.
Yes.
He's just like,
Take a little more
somebody's advising him, hey, man, look, you're going to have your moment. Right now,
just stay in Mar-a-Lago. Just stay inside.
Yeah, go get in your golf cart.
But seriously, so you have these, I mean, there are probably a lot of people that do different aspects, different types of jobs and responsibilities in the whole staff working for Biden, but nobody wants to lose their job, right?
Yep.
Okay.
It's a gravy train.
This has been awesome. I really don't want this to end, but things are going sideways here, and I need to figure out my angle. So people are turning on each other.
Yep. And while all that's going on, I've told you, the enemies of America and the enemies of freedom have this attitude: if we're going to do something, we got to do it now. And this is even more solidifying that. So here's another example. This week, Russia conducts a mobile nuclear missile launcher drill. I mean, y'all, they're just letting people know we're about to escalate something. Russia's defense ministry said on Friday it was conducting drills involving Yars mobile nuclear missile launchers less than a month after it held tactical nuclear weapons deployment exercises alongside ally Belarus. The ministry said Yars missile launcher crews in at least two different regions were set to move over 62 miles and practice camouflage and deployment. It published video showing a mobile launcher maneuvering along forest roads and taking up position before troops covered it in camouflage netting. Similar exercises will be held by other missile units in the near future, the defense ministry said. In June, Russia conducted tactical nuclear weapons drills with Belarus after what Moscow said were threats from Western powers. Russian President Vladimir Putin said that Moscow had no need to use nuclear weapons to secure victory in Ukraine, but added that he did not rule out changes to the country's nuclear doctrine. And this is a screenshot from that video that they showed of that nuclear launcher. So it's escalating with Russia.
Yeah. And
if there was going to be a finishing onslaught from Russia, I believe we're about to see that coming. If it happens. World War III, we talk about a lot here too, is fears explode as Russian troops are spotted on a NATO country border. A recent report has highlighted Russia's increasing naval activities with the attack submarines being deployed close to NATO territories. Since the invasion of Ukraine, Putin in February 2022, Russian submarines have been spotted twice in the Irish Sea, causing growing concern. Just last month, Putin's forces sent a nuclear-powered submarine warship and other naval vessels to the Caribbean Sea for military drills. And it goes on to say around 18 months ago, Russia sent vessels to the Irish Sea deploying Kilo-class submarines. So they're doing more and more just
So Caribbean
saber wagon.
Sea, what does that sound like to you? Cuba?
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Right.
East Coast?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. That's it. That's it. And then, of course, there's China.
Yeah.
We're rapid firing here, and then we're going to talk about the false flag. China anchors monster ship in the South China Sea, Philippine Coast Guard says. The Philippine Coast Guard said on Saturday that China's largest Coast Guard vessel has anchored in Manila's exclusive economic zone in the South China Sea and is meant to intimidate its smaller Asian neighbor. The China Coast Guard's 165-meter monster ship entered Manila's 200 nautical mile EEZ on July 2nd. The PCG warned the Chinese vessel it was in the Philippines EEZ and asked about its intentions. It was an intimidation on the part of the China Coast Guard. We're not going to pull out and we're not going to be intimidated. China's embassy in Manila in the Chinese Foreign Ministry did not immediately respond to requests for comment. China's Coast Guard has no publicly available contact information. The Chinese ship, which also deployed a small boat, was anchored 800 yards away from the PCG's vessel. So we're seeing escalation happening in the China Sea and the neighbors of Taiwan and people that are allies of Taiwan. So they have circled. I saw on the news as I was walking in the studio, so I did not have time to get the article. On the news tonight, Xi Jinping came out and admitted that they have Taiwan surrounded by drones. They are constantly circling drones and letting them know that even if they're flying out of Taiwan to somewhere, they're flying through a circle of drones that are military drones.
I mean, if we haven't already, it feels like we are about to reach a point of no return as China is emboldened.
Yeah. All right, so let's get heavy into this. It's 120 days from this day. If you're watching it live, if you're watching on the replay, just know that this show was live on July 8th. July 8th is 120 days to election night. That's not a lot of time. And you're talking about all this stuff that we talked about Biden here. Next week, is it next week that the Republican convention is? No, it's the week after. So maybe it is next week. I think it's next week. Next weekend is the Republican National Convention, I think.
Is it the 19th?
I know that it was, it was July 11th, so 12, 13, 14, 15. It was supposed to be 4 days. His sentencing was supposed to be 4 days before it, so that would have put it next week. So it's going to be here, y'all. So Mike Signorelli's in the house. What? Are you serious? Are you in here, Mike? I don't see you. There he is.
Oh, my gosh.
What's up, Mike Signorelli's in the house?
Papa Sig!
What's up? That's my man right there.
Nice.
Y'all don't follow Mike Signorelli. Y'all ain't even saved. But Biden's Department of Homeland Security has begun to simulate what we're talking about when it comes to this false flag. Climate change, these are the things that they're simulating. They're practicing for. Climate change catastrophes, such as nationwide droughts, wildfires, great power disruption, and water crisis. Under the Biden regime, the Department of Homeland Security has been conducting political war games to prepare for potential climate change emergencies, according to this war room. These include nationwide droughts, wildfires, hurricanes, blackouts, and water crisis. The Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agents, CISA, National Risk Management Center, is behind those simulation exercises known as scenario-based planning. CISA is one of the primary cabals that coordinated with social media companies to effectively censor, suspend, deplatform, and flag millions of people. And it says that they simulate war games, prepping for plausible nationwide droughts, blackouts, etc. Among the tabletop exercises drafted by CISA, revealed in a July 1st document uploaded to the agency's website obtained by War Room, are, quote, water woes and, quote, day zero. These are tabletop exercises, which predicts an energy shortage crisis. The scenarios operate, quote, under the premise that we cannot successfully predict the future. We prepare for change by treating the future as a set of plausible alternatives. However, conservatives may question whether these scenarios reflect an objective consideration of future risks. The scenarios seem to focus heavily on issues tied closely to liberal policy priorities, such as transitioning to clean energy and handling the effects of climate change.
Wow.
So, water woes. Here's one, example number one. And this is a tabletop exercise. Remember, the Huawei that came out in 2020 was a tabletop exercise.
I think you're referring to October of 2019, Event 201, sponsored in part by Bill and Melinda Gates.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Huawei.
The Huawei. So the Huawei was tabletopped. There's also this Disease X, which is a tabletop.
There's a whole cadre of these different tabletops.
Cadre.
And would you say LARP? Would you say live action role play? Was
Yes.
Jade Helm a LARP? I wish we knew more about what Jade Helm was and exactly what went on, but Disease X, Event 201,
Yeah.
Clade X, Jade Helm, and others that we don't even really know their names are tabletop exercises
Absolutely.
that our government does in conjunction with corporation and private industry.
Yes. So scenario one of these tabletops called water woes. In this tabletop experiment or demonstration, it paints a picture of extreme weather becoming the norm by 2029. How interesting, the year before 2030 begins. Due to climate change, with regions either flooded or parched by drought. It suggests that efforts to transition to clean energy have been insufficient thus far, hinting at a need for a more aggressive policy actions. And this is some more details of it. You can find it all online if you want to search it. War Room reported in a similarly styled political, quote, matrix game, CISA officials detailed looming acts threatening water security, such as demographic shifts, the presence of a novel contaminants, pharmaceutical byproducts, perfluorinated compounds, and nanoplastics, and competition over water resources. So you see, they got detailed charts,
Yes,
all
they
of this.
do.
Scenario number two that's been tabled out, and by the way, they don't run these things unless they're really, it would be stupid for them to just run it for fun. They are running it because they believe that this is either coming, they got to be able to react to it, or that they're going to create it, either one. But great power disruption. We talk about this a lot on the big picture.
Yes.
This tabletop looks at the U.S. in a new chapter of great power competition with technological leadership as the primary battleground. Look at the numbers again. By 2030, despite gains in onshoring the manufacture of critical technology, the scenario suggests that the U.S. faces an uncertain future without government subsidies and continued protectionism. It says in there, in the 2020s, the United States finds itself in a new chapter of a great power competition, this time driven by competition from technological leadership. Efforts to control these, such as semiconductors, leads to partial decoupling internationally, onshoring of production, blah, blah, blah. Scenario number three is day zero. It anticipates a severe water crisis in multiple U.S. cities due to increased demand from the energy sector. It argues for a more holistic approach to water resources, including cross-jurisdictional
What does this mean?
and sectional
Due
solutions.
to an increased demand from the energy sector.
Yeah, it's a good question. Let's see what it says here. And this is this is the pretend search situation. The city of Monroe declared that it has less than 6 months of water supplies remaining and must make drastic cuts that will harshly impact both citizens and businesses. However, Monroe is just one of many cities in the United States facing a likely water crisis. There are many stresses of water systems, but an underappreciated one is the demand from the energy sector. As the United States pursues clean energy transition, investing in alternative fuels, blah, 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 demand for energy is increasing. At least in the short term, this is causing increased dependence on traditional sources of energy. Energy production is a water-intensive process and is the production of necessary in the production of necessary equipment. The author of this scenario's fictional essay advocates for approaching water resources more holistically, examining demand and exploring solutions across jurisdictions where they draw from the same water sources and sectors. Reminds me of the Hunger Games. Most critically, the energy and agricultural sections. You notice that? Most critically, the energy and agricultural sectors.
Yes.
So that's what they're going to come after. They're literally role-playing so-called fictional cities. But if you'll remember, in Project 201, they role-played a pandemic that caused shutdowns,
Right.
that caused masking, that caused mandates.
Yes.
And lo and behold, here we were. So I don't believe they're running these things unless they're expecting something similar to this to happen. I've started a lot of talking. Now it's your turn.
Look, I don't know what's going on today in Mexico City, but we've been hearing for a while that they are approaching day zero. What does over 18 million people do in a city that has very little water?
Exactly.
That's a place I definitely don't want to be. So
exactly.
Anyway.
Well, have you seen these guys that show up at these different rallies and stuff that all dress the same? They got a black shirt on, they're wearing khakis, and they have a mask on, they have a hat on, and they're pretending to be. They're always said to be Trump supporters. They call them, the right wing extremists. Have you seen them?
No.
Okay, so they show up, and there's like 100 of them. They're all dressed the same. They got a navy blue, like a polo on, brown khakis, same shoes. They're all carrying American flags. They all got their faces covered. This is what somebody pointed out. Ain't none of them overweight. They all look like they're in shape, and they're all wearing hats. There's like, ain't no way. They ain't regular folks because they ain't one fat guy in the whole group. So they're saying that it's feds. They're saying that it's feds pretending to be this. Now, they're called the Patriot Boys. Now, I want you to see what happened.
Who gave them the name the Patriot Boys?
I don't know if they call themselves that or Fed Boys or something. I think they call themselves the Patriots or something like that. But they're trying to tie them to the so-called Proud Boys and all that. That was a part of, that thing that happened. But this they're popping up. It's just like those monoliths that are popping up everywhere.
Yeah.
These guys are just randomly popping up. And look, it is just the way they got out of this U-Haul that I'm about to show you this video. A U-Haul pulls up in this rally in Tennessee, and these guys just pour out of this U-Haul. They're transporting these people in the back of a U-Haul, which is illegal and against U-Haul's standards. U-Haul says you have to sign that you're not putting anybody in the back of these big trucks, these box trucks. But just look at this video, and this is why I say that I believe that some false flags are coming. Because I believe that they are trying to see the look that the right wing is getting ready to do something really big. And these guys, most people that are conservative, most people that are, a part of the right or whatever you want to call it, they disavow this group. They say they would never do anything like this. They would never dress all like this, cover their faces. They're proud of who they are. So this is not. So most people believe that this is staged. But just watch this video here. And they're just pouring out of the back of these trucks.
Right.
Vanguard.
Vanguard.
Oh, it's a fucking protest.
Oh, sorry for the F word.
What is this?
Let me mute it. Sorry.
You're going to have to get a screener on your video.
Where's my admins at?
Okay, so
but-
whoever or whatever they are, they don't want people to see their face.
Look at this. Look at this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just sorry. I don't believe that's MAGA, and I'm not always promoting MAGA. I'm just saying that's just asking for something. And so what are they setting up here, y'all? While you're watching this video, I want to see the comments.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and they put out this little thing that they're carrying. Oh yeah, they call themselves the Patriot Front. That's it, the Patriot Front. And so I'm gonna play it again. So this, as you're watching this video, and look, they all got white scarves on their faces, same hat, same shirt, khakis, and they're pouring out of the back of a U-Haul, and they've all got brand new American flags.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, I saw a meme the other day that said, why is it that if you see somebody flying an American flag, you automatically know who they're voting for? That's the world we live in. So when the world looks at this and they see them carrying these flags,
Okay, hold up.
what do they think they are?
That one guy has his flag upside down.
Oh, he does. Well, that's a nation in distress. That means nation in distress. But so what is when you see that, Sandy?
Okay,
what do you
here
think?
is your tell. If you're so proud of your country, you're conservative, you're MAGA, whatever. I don't even like putting that title on people. Why is everyone's face covered?
Yeah.
You
Exactly.
clearly do not want to be ID'd for whatever reason.
Right.
You're all coming out of the back of a rented moving van. No one's arriving in their own vehicle with a tag that could identify you. Why?
How far did you ride in that van? Y'all, please.
Yeah. Maybe you came from around the block, whatever. It doesn't matter.
This is insane. Y'all, what I'm trying to say is something is being set up.
Something weird's going on.
Something's being set up. Somebody's going to be blamed. And, you know, we've said it, this movie that came out, Civil War, that we covered here, which was a horrible movie. Okay? If you went to see it, it was a horrible movie. It was nothing like it was a little bit, but in the grand scheme, nothing like what they were trying to make it look like it was going to be in the trailer. But it was about our country, the people of our country, fighting against each other again with modern warfare, not just Civil War.
Yeah.
You got to load the gun like this and all this kind of stuff and stand there in the field. No, they got machine guns. They were dressed in body armor and all of this. And then, of course, if you hadn't seen it by now, you probably never going to see it. But the final scene when they go into the White House, I mean, it was heartbreaking. It was just, you just felt dirty. You felt like, but you felt like this was if there was anything political about that movie, they took a president. I want you to think about it, a president that they never really tell you how it all started. Mm-hmm. But the premise was this president said he's not going to leave office, that he's perpetually a president. He declared emergency and he's staying the president. And they stormed the White House and they eliminated the president of the United States, if you know what I mean. And so what do they keep saying about Trump? They keep saying if he gets in, he's never leaving. He's going to declare himself to be a dictator, he's never leaving. And then you got these people getting out of these U-Hauls and all of this. You go back, if you remember, going back to the thing that happened in the month of, the beginning month of the year of the thing. And if you remember, supposedly there were people in the crowd, more than likely they were, that were there to agitate. What are we getting set up for now is all of a sudden now they were probably already going to do something, but then you look at the polls, you look at the swing states, they're losing in all the swing states. It looks like if it happened right now and it was fair, it's a landslide. So they got to do something to divide and bring fear. And that's what I mean, that they are tabletopping things. They are getting ready for something.
Well, it does seem like something is brewing, right?
It does. It does seem like something is brewing.
And it's summer, and it's hot, and people are already cranky, and we just didn't need any other thing, okay? But yeah, add in the heat, and people are going really crazy. I mean, it's kind of crazy around here in our little town, and murder is on the rise, accidental. We had a teenager. They're saying that he accidentally, not in any kind of violent way killed another teenager over the weekend. I don't think you saw that story because you were gone, but we have all kinds of crazy things going on.
People are smash and grab with no fear of retribution. It's like these movies that you watch where there's just this chaos world that's coming where there's no law and order. Some of our cities already look that way. And all it would take would be some things to really light some fuses. And especially, you saw what happened. You know what a lot of people have forgotten? A lot of people have forgotten that when President Trump was sworn in, cities were burned. People have forgotten that it wasn't just the summer of that we saw cities burning as we had the protests in the cities that summer, but the night that he was sworn in, Washington, D.C. and other cities around this country were burned.
Yeah.
People's livelihoods were burned. And that was because he had sworn in the first time. They were convinced that he would never be back again, that they had finished him off. If he gets back in there again, y'all, there's no telling what's going to happen. And, and there's no telling what's going to be done to ensure that that doesn't happen. So I'm just telling you, you better know God. You better know your heart is right with Jesus, and you better love your family. You better
absolutely.
I'm gonna try to walk lightly here. You need to prepare. You need to be prepared to protect.
Yes.
If you know what I mean. So that's the world we're living in, Sandy.
Yeah. January 6th was a wake up call for a lot of people, but I would again say, if you think that, okay, you're fed up, you've had it to the point that you're going to go out and let your voice be known, I hate to even say this, you need to really think that through.
Well, let me go a step further. Don't do it, especially go out and stand for your rights, but don't go into buildings, don't do things, because you will not win that.
I'm saying
you will not
even to show up, to quietly, constructively, because
better pray about it.
That fateful day we're talking about was a setup.
Yeah.
And people were harmed, and some people are still dealing with it because not anything on fault on their part.
Yeah.
Because it was a setup.
It was a setup. Well, we got to be careful where we go there.
Right.
Now.
I'm trying to step lightly.
Yeah. Well, in the world, so what we're trying to say is it's coming. This summer is, you're already seeing back to school supplies, all this kind of stuff. So in our minds, we're just sort of summer's winding down. But the heat of the political world is, y'all, I'm telling you, there is a fuse that is about to be lit.
Oh, my goodness. There is a master plan.
Something is coming.
With this Biden thing. Yeah. Obviously, we do not know exactly what it is, but we know that it's probably about to get really ugly. They know what they're doing. They know what their eventual goal is.
Yeah.
What's going to happen before they get there? Who knows?
Yeah. If you hadn't smashed that like button, can you do that? Can you help us out? It don't cost anything. It takes a few seconds. Show us some love. If you watch on Rumble, show us some love. Watch on X, show us some love. And do this for me. When you get through watching it, copy the link and send it to your family, send it to your friends. Let's blow this up. And let's beat the algorithm. The algorithm is not like me. I'm on a list, okay?
Truly.
And I believe that I'm probably on some pretty high up list. I'm beginning to feel that. And all I'm going to say, because I know you're listening. Are you listening, NSA? I know you're listening. I was told this week that I am actually on a list. I hadn't even told you that.
Oh, yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
I love finding out things with
live
everybody
and on
else.
the air with everybody else. See, that's because we're all family, Sandy. We're all finding out together. That's all I'm going to say.
So exactly what does that mean?
We'll talk about it later.
Okay.
All right. So while all that is going on, two Italian volcanoes are exploding.
Wow. What about that?
Mount Etna and Stromboli, who knew Stromboli was a volcano? I didn't. Is exploding on the island of Sicily, and Stromboli began erupting this week in July. Wow. Catania Airport, the main airport of Sicily, was closed as precaution. So the Word of God says that in the last days, everything that can be shaken will be shaken. And earthquakes are happening all over the world. Volcanoes are happening all over the world. We don't even hear about them because there's so much other craziness going on in the world.
We did touch on Mount St. Helens last week here.
Yeah.
I have not checked up on that again, but that is a concern and a danger. Cascadia in our country, boy, wow, we don't need that whole area to start popping off.
No.
There's probably a lot of magma underneath the ground moving, causing the heat dome that they've had to deal with in the Northwest the last several years. But we certainly do not need Mount St. Helens to have another large eruption as it did in 1980.
Absolutely not. Well, here in America, and I'm sure this pattern is happening all over the world, our Postal Service is raising rates again. The U.S. Postal Service preparing to hike postage rates for the second time this year. Will soon be raising the price of a postage stamp. Y'all, it's going to be raised to 73 cents for a stamp. A stamp.
Can we
a stamp.
tell on ourselves? I can remember when they went to 13 cents.
Yes.
I don't know what year that was.
That's how old
Chime
we are.
in on chat if you remember when stamps were 13 cents, and now they're going to be 73 cents.
In addition, the price of postage for international postcards and letters will go from $1.55 to $1.65. The Postal Service is seeking price adjustments for special service products, including certified mail and money order fees. Notably, there will be no price increase for post office box rentals. Well, they're already astronomical. And the Postal Service will apply a price reduction of 10% for postal insurance when mailing an item. The changes are needed to achieve financial stability. Educate me here. It's the United States Postal Service. I know that they get private funding and they fund themselves, but are they a part of our government? Or are they just like the Federal Reserve? Are they? Do you know?
We've always been under the.
I thought it was a part of our government.
Right.
We're giving money. We give money to Ukraine. We can't offset postage. Now I know some of y'all are like, I don't even remember the last time I mailed a letter. You still got to mail some things.
Yes.
Y'all, this is crazy. Our economy is just in a mess. Everything is going up. And y'all, when it goes up, it does not come down. Mm-hmm. It does not come down. In fact, if plywood, remember when plywood was building our house, plywood was like $150 a sheet.
No, it wasn't that expensive.
The sanded was. The sanded was.
Oh, okay.
Regular plywood was like $89 to $100, regular plywood for a while. Yeah. But what I'm saying is it comes back down, but it never comes back down to where it was.
No.
Never.
Never.
So it's like all this inflation that you're seeing, and then you hear, well, inflation's coming down. Well, understand that when you say inflation is now at 3%, when it was at 9%.
A supposed 3%.
Exactly. When it was at 9%, and that it's come down so and so, all that means is it's come down from 9%. It doesn't mean it's come down from when he took office or whatever. And I know that you can't just obviously it's a snowball effect, but it's a mind trick to tell you, hey, you know, this time last year, gas was this. Well, this year, it's down 5 cents from last year. So that's good news. And they'll spin it on the local news in the morning. Hey, good news. Last Labor Day, it was this. You're saving 5 cents a gallon this year. Things are looking up.
Oh, boy.
Well, Sandy, we're moments away from bringing in Uncle Jimmy. But before we bring Uncle Jimmy, apparently we're going to have a whole segment, because every week now, without me looking for it, just going to my news sites that I use, there is an increasing storyline that involves cow poots. Do we not talk about cow poots almost every week now?
You know, I can hardly believe
cow poots. Cow poots is everywhere in the news.
Have to touch on this, but somehow that makes its way into the news here. Weird.
Cow poots, y'all, the experts say, is more damaging to the environment than cars. Cow poots. You can't make this up. But if it was not strange enough, our good friend of humanity, computer
He's looking
inventor,
out for you.
cares about you.
He just went from one kind of virus to another kind of virus, right?
Y'all, Bill
World's
Gates
greatest farmer.
is
all
back.
That. Mm-hmm.
Bill Gates is investing millions in a startup company that will make a vaccine to stop cow farts.
And again, I want to insert
Could we go ahead and give the award?
you know what?
Let's just
Absolutely.
go ahead. Let's just go and award it.
Tonight's Golden Chicken Award goes to this story, Bill Gates. And I want to say, gee, instead of creating a vaccine, why not create a process to capture all of that methane and use it?
Oh, what a great idea.
Right?
I mean, it makes me think of Back to the Future. I mean, the flux capacitor could use trash. Can we not use a cow poot for good? Can we use a cow poot for good? So tonight's award of the Golden Chicken goes to none
Bill
other than
Gates.
Bill Gates
Starting a company to create a vaccine.
to stop cow poots, cow farts. A methane vaccine. Y'all, my mind. Lord help me. Don't help me. You know what I'm thinking?
I don't,
If this
I
works
don't know
on
if I want to know
cows,
what you're thinking.
if this works on cows,
What are you thinking? No more pull my finger?
exactly. This can work on people.
Okay.
Excuse me,
We're back.
doctor. I've run out of refills. I need an authorization to send it to my pharmacy. Okay, what is it that you need a refill for? I need a refill for my. And I don't want to say it. What is it, man? Go ahead. It's okay. I'm your doctor. I need my fart vaccine to be renewed. I need a poop. I need my poop vaccine. A methane vaccine for ruminant animals is internationally recognized as the Holy Grail. I'm going to pause for dramatic effect. It's internationally recognized as the Holy Grail to deliver methane reduction at low cost and mass scale, said one of the investors. Recently, it was revealed that multi-billionaire philanthropist Bill Gates has invested $26.5 million into a biotech start company making vaccines to get cows to stop farting. Y'all, I'm reading from a news site.
Yeah.
Something activists and world leaders have repeatedly blamed as a major contributor to climate change and excess methane emissions. Announced last month, the company called Archaea Bio. That almost sounds like IKEA. Archaea Bio was gifted $26.5 million from venture capital that was founded by Bill Gates. The company said in a press release, the raise was led by current investor Breakthrough Energy Ventures and attracted additional investors, including the Granton Foundation and the Protection of the Environment, AgroZero-NZ, Rabo Ventures, blah, 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 all these crazy companies. It describes on this website, quote, as an ag biotech startup developing a safe, user-friendly, and cost-conscious vaccine to reduce ruminant methane emissions that will work seamlessly with existing global agribusiness practices. That is fancy words for a poot vaccine. What in the world is happening? Y'all, I don't doubt that it puts off methane. I know it does. But we're going to vaccine cows? That's what we're spending money on.
Apparently. Yeah, I guess they just add that to the mRNA and everything else they're giving them. So,
Oh, I just thought of something profound. If the cow is vaccinated against poots and it gets in the cow's DNA and I eat a steak, am I vaccinated vaccinated against Boots? The more you know. Deep thoughts by Larry.
You just can't turn it off, can you?
Can't turn it off, y'all.
Always thinking. Okay.
Deep thoughts by Larry Ragland.
Can we please go to the next story?
You want to move on? Yes. All right. Let's move on. Let's just go ahead and bring him in.
Thank God.
He
come on.
usually does save the day. Oh, Uncle Jimmy.
He's saving this day. That's
Come
for
on
sure.
in, Uncle Jimmy. We got a lot to talk about with you.
In the Supernatural AI update.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Never gets old. That's video gold right there, y'all. Video gold. Well, part of AI, of course, is robots, and we like to always tell you how your world is full of robots that's about to take it over. I mean, it's just full of joy tonight. China is preparing to release killer robots into battle within 2 years.
Which means they're probably doing it next week.
Right, exactly. China nation is desperate to beat the U.S. and U.K. in technology arms race. China is on course to deploy killer robots into battle within 2 years, it has been claimed. The warning came as the communist state revealed it has developed robotic dogs equipped with machine guns. Hey, such great news to hear. Already camouflaged. Look, they already got camouflage paint on them. Wow. Defense analyst Francis Tusa said China was not hindered by fears over AI, which would see them come up with a new ship designs, new submarines designs, new fighter aircraft designs at a rate which is dizzying. They are moving 4 or 5 times faster than the United States. Let that sink in. He said, we're at the start of a race that is truly autonomous systems. I would be surprised if we don't see autonomous machines coming out of China in 2 years. Do you understand what autonomous means? Completely on their own and no need of anyone to navigate them.
Wow.
The robotic gun dog made by Chinese firm Unitree Robotics was unveiled last month during a military exercise with the Cambodian military. Mr. Tusa said being ahead of the West will appeal to the country's leader, Xi Jinping, and embolden Vladimir Putin. He said, quote, for the Chinese, it's the issue of have we beaten the Americans and the UK in getting a fully autonomous fighter aircraft. There's huge prestige. I think they'll go out go all out on autonomy and harnessing AI, and I think Russia will follow suit. The UK's Ministry of Defense is also spending millions on developing AI-based weapons. So we're not that far away, y'all, from basically war being run by robots.
Right. Well, let's just
and it's going to be spun as a
double
positive
back
thing.
to the story we did 1 or 2 weeks ago with the guy that was throwing the dog across the yard. No matter if he kicked him, threw him, whatever, he just got right back up and came right back at him. Imagine that version, that model having onboard armaments and being given a command, right?
Exactly.
That's bad enough. So, I don't know. It's very disturbing.
It's very disturbing. But not only are robots taking over the world, but also AI bots, which are computer hacking systems and what's the word I'm looking for? When you have a image of yourself, avatar. It's an avatar. It's a world there. So the intense battle to stop AI bots from taking over the internet. Artificial intelligence systems need to be trained on text, which has led their creators to gather up words from across the web. Goes on to say, so let me get rid of this so I can read this. Why is this not getting out of my way? like this. Get out of my way. Okay. What? All right, keep talking.
So,
all right, there we go.
I don't know how extensive this article is going to go in, but I hope that it will touch on and talk about how much content is on the internet that you think is another person.
Yeah.
But is not a human at all.
Exactly.
So
I think it does cover that.
Good.
A number of companies have been taking major steps to stop scrapers from attempting to take their text. It is the latest front in an ongoing and apparently escalating battle between websites that allow people to read text and the AI companies that wish to use them to build their own new tools. The rise of artificial intelligence has brought a number of companies looking to train new and smarter AI technology, but the large company models that underpin many of them, such as ChatGPT, require vast amounts of text to be trained. This has led some companies to scrape text from the web so that it can be fed into those systems for that training. That in turn has led to frustration from the owners of text-based websites who argue not only that the companies do not have permission to use their data, but also that it is slowing down the performance of the internet. Elon Musk, for instance, has repeatedly suggested that X, formerly Twitter, gets a huge amount of traffic from such scraping systems. X is one of the many sites that have introduced strict rate limiting rules, which try and restrict bots from reloading its site too much, though some have suggested that it has also been used to disguise problems with X's seemingly troubled website. The article goes on. I won't read you all the technical jargon, but it goes on to say just what you just said, that it has become almost impossible to detect a non-human interacting, commenting. I will say that our little channel that we have that's growing, thanks to all of you that are watching now and listening, I've begun to realize that a lot of the comments that come in are not real people because I see the same comment, exact same wording on another show of my own show and other people's shows. I'll see maybe a different user, a different avatar, but the same exact quote. And I believe it's just being computer generated. So really, you know, when you get out there, you don't really know if you're talking to a real person or not.
Okay, well, let's just drill down into this and discuss exactly why this is happening in the first place. Is it all to promote the whole computer learning cycle? Is it to boost certain platforms to make them look more popular, stronger? What is it?
I think everything you just said.
Okay.
I think it's all of the above. And then you factor in that AI is almost, if not, I mean, I think they're saying that it's almost generative intelligence, but I think it's already there, and I think it's probably already achieved the ultimate, and they're trying to keep it from us right now. So if that's the case, if it's become autonomous in its programming itself, and you know, and we already see videos that's very difficult to determine whether they're real or not, and that's just what we've been able to see, that we've been given permission to see. I really believe that, you know, I've heard people, I heard a person being interviewed the other day that said they believe within 2 years, this is what this person said that's in the industry, within 2 years, 90+% of every website you go to and everything you see will not be generated by a human.
Well, I can tell you right now.
90%.
I am subscribed to a local, you know, news channel, which has a great reach, in my opinion, of giving you weather updates, giving, you know, constantly flashing new news articles to my phone. And so it interests me because it's about my area or maybe even another part of the country that I live in. So I open it, I begin reading it, and I'm so irritated. It's this 3 and 4 paragraphs of
that never says anything.
Bloviating jargon. And I'm like, I just want to get to what this article is supposed to be about. And I can tell AI has produced this content.
Yes.
Because a human would not talk like this. No. A human would not go on and on before, you know, getting to what this is supposed to be about. And it just
And let me tell you
makes me mad. I don't like it.
It's horrible. I hate it too. And you see a picture and you click on it.
Yes.
And you don't ever even see that picture. You go through all the slideshows of all these other people, and that picture that was on the clickbait it's not even part of it. No. But the reality is this: it's designed to keep you there.
Keep you there.
Because ads keep coming.
Yep.
The revenue keeps coming.
Yep.
And then watching your strokes, they're recording your keyboard strokes, they're recording your mouse movement. So they are gathering as much information. It's like in the old movies where you would see where people would call and they were trying to get the kidnapper.
Yes.
And somebody's over going,
you got to keep them on the line, 30 seconds.
We're almost there. Give me 5 more seconds. And they're trying to trace him because they're gathering. And then the guy would know and he'd hang up right there. Oh, it's 1 second away. Being able to know where he was. Well, that's small scale. That was an analog system.
Yes.
Now we're in a total artificial intelligence digital system that is gathering constantly information about you.
It's ridiculous.
But let me tell you what else it's doing. An unintended, or maybe it was intended, they just didn't want to admit it, but a lot of people didn't see this coming, what AI is doing. AI, y'all, is driving up carbon emissions in an ironic twist, leaving scientists unsure of what to do. The environmental impacts have so far received less attention. A single query to an AI-powered chatbot one query to an AI-powered chatbot can use up to 10 times as much energy as an old-fashioned Google search.
And this we need to worry about while you're trying to charge your EV, right?
Yeah, right.
And all these other problems and concerns we have with having enough electricity.
But the problem is cow poops.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going back to it, but I'm just telling you, you got AI using up and making all this carbon emissions, and they want to make you eat the bugs.
Hello.
And I got news for you. Does anybody watching this live or on the replay believe that the powers that be they're going to turn this technology off because it's using too much carbon?
Exactly. No.
It's their tool to take over.
You will sit home in the dark before that happens, okay? Because they're going to get their control one way or another.
Well, some people say, with all the bad that's going on, there's still some good things that are happening with AI. And I don't know if you would call this good or not, but there is a growing industry, Sandy, of AI is taking our loved ones that have gone on, and now it has moved into an industry where their voices live on, their images live on, and you can talk to them. Do you realize there's a company that's designing not only to mimic your loved one, like your mother, your grandmother, your father's voice, but their image, and you can pay them to create a hologram that will be AI driven and AI response where your grandfather can still be with you and have conversations with you.
This is absolutely perfect for all of the sector of society that are not really in touch right now. Okay? Let alone when grandma does pass and you just want to keep her here.
Yeah.
This is no good. This no good is probably going to come of this.
Well, here's an AI company that is resurrecting classic Hollywood stars to read audiobooks. Artificial intelligence is resurrecting Hollywood stars, including Judy Garland, James Dean, Burt Reynolds as well, with the approval of the late actors' estates. Of course, they're making money off of it.
Of course.
The AI voice cloning software company, 11 Labs, 11 Labs, Stranger Things, 11, is creating AI-generated voices of deceased actors to read audiobooks for its recently launched Reader app, according to a report by CNN. Judy Garland's AI-generated voice, for example, will reportedly read an audiobook of The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. I mean, let's be honest with you. How cool is that if you're a mega fan of The Wizard of Oz to have Dorothy actually read the story to you? We deeply respect their legacy and honored to have their voices as part of our platform. Adding them to our growing list of narrators marks a major step forward in our mission of making content accessible in any language and any voice. Said it made the deals with the late celebrities' estates. Notably, the company made headlines earlier this year when it was reported that the AI technology was used to create a fake robocall from President Joe Biden, urging New Hampshire residents not to vote in the state's Democrat presidential primary. Northern Illinois University David Gunkel, professor who tracks AI in media and entertainment, said 11 Labs' new partnership are all well within the realm of what the law allows, and the state will get a considerable amount of money from licensing and agreements. It's not unlike a company negotiating a copyright deal to use a popular song by Queen in an ad. The record company also could, in theory, say no matter how much money they were offered. And this is not the first time that AI's voice has been trained by AI, a practice that has become an ever-increasing powerful tool, raising eyebrows of people's concern about how far the technology would go. Breitbart reported last week an AI version of sports commentator Al Michaels will deliver. I heard this earlier. An AI version of sports commentator Al Michaels will deliver a personalized recap to Peacock subscribers during the 2024 Olympics.
Wow.
In December, it was reported that a voice clone of the late legendary Hollywood actor Jimmy Stewart, who was known for his distinctive drawl, can now put users of the subscription-based wellness app Calm to sleep. So at night you can hear
Is it
Jimmy Stewart.
Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, but also
I'm thinking of It's a Wonderful Life.
more famously known as from It's a Wonderful Life. What was his name in It's a Wonderful Life?
Oh man,
What was his name?
But they're going to blow it up quick.
Come on, Billy Mitchell.
But watch this.
Bedford Falls.
You're laying there. You're laying there. You're about to go to sleep, and he says, "Clarence, sing an angel lullaby to Larry. Clarence, if you'll do it, you'll get your wings."
Yes, I was going to say, when the alarm
George
goes
Bailey.
off.
George Bailey.
George Bailey. When the alarm goes off in the morning, every time the
That's it.
alarm rings, an angel.
Wake up, Larry. Wake up. The alarm is ringing. Jimmy Stewart is like,
Yeah.
somebody's getting their wings.
Zuzu. It's Zuzu's battle.
Was it Zuzu or Zulu? It was Zuzu. Was it Zuzu? It was Zuzu.
I'm trying to forget you just
The
said that.
pedals.
I'm trying to forget you just called her Zulu.
Zuzu, it's Zuzu's battle.
Little Tommy. Okay.
No, I love you. What was it?
It's another chicken award. Her name is Zuzu.
What was it he said when he picked up the knob that always came off and he kissed it? You old crickly knob, I love you.
You old Yule knob, I love you.
Well, look, when I saw this, I thought of you because all the discussions that we had about 5G, when 5G came out, which, by the way, how's 5G working out for you? 5G
My phone has never been worse.
It ruined cell phones.
Ruined.
5G is
And
horrible.
When we're talking about signals and all this, I am sick of Walmart. I'm not getting on your stinking Wi-Fi. Quit buffering my phone when I'm trying to use your price checker in your store.
They got the cell phone blocker in Walmart, y'all. I'm telling you, they are forcing you.
Something.
They're forcing you on their Wi-Fi.
Do not get on their Wi-Fi.
Walmart is working with the NSA. Did you hear that, NSA? We know what you're doing in Walmart. It's okay. We still going to go to Walmart. But when I thought about 5G and I thought about you, I thought she's really going to love this.
Okay.
Because Huawei has now officially introduced 5.5G. And it includes augmented reality, automation, and AI advanced.
Okay.
Chinese technology company and telecommunications company, Huawei, quietly unveiled what they call 5.5G technology, a subset of generational technological rollout before the world will eventually reach 6G. If you remember, the guy at the World Economic Forum said, by the time we get to 6G, most everything we know about cell phones will now be inside the human body. That's literally what he said. So this is Huawei's introduction to 5.5G.
Okay, here we go.
Would you like to see the future? Future is now. Step into the 5.5G era, where all things are connected through intelligence.
All things.
Online education is evolving from immersive viewing to immersive interactions. People in different locations can interact in real time and take part in the immersive exploration of knowledge.
Smell it.
Relics are virtually restored in 3D and seamlessly integrated with the physical world.
Did you understand what you just saw? With these glasses, they're predicting that it's going to be such data-based and geo-mapped that when you go visit Greece, you pull the glasses up and Greece becomes ancient Greece. When you walk through the ruins, you're not seeing the ruins, you're walking through a restored ruins.
People can virtually travel to symbols of civilization across the globe.
Virtually travel.
5.5G base stations can accurately sense road traffic. A combination of sensing network and map enables pre-warning of risks we cannot see for safer transportation. Optical fibers can accurately sense vibration, temperature, and stress, realizing...
Did you see that? Fibers in the steps. You know, I've been talking about things in the ground. So they're literally, the steps are going to be hooked up to AI, and they're going to sense vibration, heat, sensors when they walk on steps. They're saying this is what 5.5 is going to enable. This is not even 6G.
Precise monitoring and real-time warnings to make utility infrastructure more efficient and intelligent. The passive IoT technology of 5.5G supports a coverage radius of over 200 meters. This enables efficient stock-taking for massive volumes of goods, realizing intelligent unmanned warehousing.
No need for humans.
Nope.
60,000 people
The
just lost their
5.5G
job.
mobile private network features millisecond level ultra-low latency.
Now, I want you to notice that almost all of the corporations that they're going through and showing you, virtually no humans are there. Robots are making cars. Robots are filling orders. No humans.
Yeah. While you're sitting at home getting your UBI, Universal Basic Income, watching television, right?
Yeah, and you know, what's the old saying?
With no electricity.
When someone tells you who they are,
Believe it.
believe them.
And
so when they really show you this kind of stuff, it may not all happen, but you better know they know a lot of this is coming.
Exactly. They've been telling us about automation for years. But here's the thing. Yeah, it works great until it doesn't. It works great until someone hacks it and turns the water off or turns the electricity off or blows the pipes up or causes the vehicle to crash because there's a breakdown in the programming. Yeah, it's awesome until it isn't.
Until it isn't. Now, we got one more thing we want to show you about a giant UFO that was filmed from the International Space Station coming out of Hurricane Beryl. And I've got the video, and I'm going to show you the video, but I'll be back in 30 seconds.
Would you like to help us build the Big Picture family? We're on a mission to wake up the world to what is really going on. All you have to do is go to our website at LarryRagland.com and make a one-time gift, or you can become a monthly partner. Any amount is a blessing and an encouragement to us. While you're there, make sure you get a copy of our book, I See Greatness in You. Browse our merchandise store, connect with us on our social media links, and join our mailing list. We appreciate it. And remember, we ain't woke, but we are certainly awake.
Oh, yes, we
Nice.
are. We ain't woke, but we are certainly awake.
Yep.
So we got one more thing we want to show y'all. This is crazy. Giant UFO caught on camera by the International Space Station in the eye of Hurricane Beryl. The diameter of the eye of the developing hurricane, let's see, it says is 20 kilometers. So the size of the giant UFO is estimated to be 2 kilometers, and I have no idea what that means because I am an American.
We want that in American.
Yeah. What's wrong with all the rest of you people around the world?
I'm sorry.
Get in line.
We're still not doing the metric system, okay?
We're not doing it. Dude, you got to go find the fun. The SNL has not been funny in years, but they had this thing for 4th of July that somebody shared with me. Okay. It is hilarious. It's George Washington, and George Washington is sitting around the campfire in the middle of a battle, and he's like, men, I know it's been tough, but let me remind you what we're fighting for. We're fighting for freedom. We're fighting for liberty. We're fighting to have our own autonomous country. And we are fighting for our own system of weights and measurements. And he comes in and just starts saying some of the most funny, hilarious things in the world.
Right.
About because we do have a crazy system.
1.24 miles.
Yeah.
You know, okay, so we're all...
Wait a minute. Let's don't get distracted. I did it. I know I did it.
Okay.
I know I did it. I took us all down there. We got to go back to the UFO.
Right. I'm saying 1.24 miles is 2 kilometers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So this UFO is 1.24 miles?
Per Kristen Knox in chat. That's what she says. So.
Wow. That might be a mothership.
What did you think it was?
I don't know.
75.8 feet?
I don't know. I don't know what it is. I ain't gonna spend my time on all that mess.
Come on. Okay.
Think outside the box. Says, we know various agencies have weather modification capabilities. Also speculated some of our agencies have extraterrestrial reverse engineered craft. Outside the box now, kids. On film has another anomaly, man-made control tube been filmed. So the question is this alien or is this a part of the weather modification that there's some type of UAP that's in here? So let's watch this and you decide for yourself.
Okay.
I'll open it up on YouTube instead.
This Helena states you can always count on them to bring you the craziest stories, right?
This Hurricane Beryl makes landfall in the state of Texas. You see it coming in.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this is the satellite imagery of it. And our space station caught us on a live. Now watch it right here. It's a little tiny dot, but watch it come out of it. You see that black dot?
Yeah.
I mean, you got to ask yourself, what is that?
Yeah.
In the midst of a hurricane.
That's supposed to be the eye.
That's the eye, yeah. So the diameter of the eye, and it goes in and gives us again, oh, thank you. He said he's doing it in mileage. He's developing hurricane is 12 miles, so the size of the giant UFO is 1.5 miles. Is that 1.5 or is that 1.5 miles wide by comparative calculation?
It's probably supposed to be 1.5 miles because you're talking about 2 kilometers.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So, okay, look.
Let's watch it again.
This in no way provides any proof to me, in my opinion. But if you want to talk about the comparison, yeah, I've heard many people talk about craft being 1 or more miles in length.
But look, of course, we just covered that this could just be totally made up.
Absolutely.
But if it's not,
what is it?
Yeah, what is that?
If this is real satellite imagery, whatever.
I mean, flying through something in that kind of weather, just with no issues, and supposedly on the.
Is it from ISS?
ISS, yeah. So what do you think about that?
Interesting, to present this argument like this, but that is in no way definitive. Okay, come on.
Well, y'all, it's been a great show, but don't get off because we got one more thing from Miss Harper. Mm-hmm. She wants to remind y'all we're going to set it up.
Yeah.
We're going to go ahead and tell you bye.
Been a great show tonight.
But we're going to let our sweet little princess, if you're watching, we're so proud of you. And she watches the big picture.
Yeah.
And she always tells us, Papa or Nana. Well, let's just let her tell us.
Love you guys.
We are woke, but we are sitting awake.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.